Hey YouTube, Awesome Rider here. Welcome to my video where I talk about everything I'd like to see out of Power Rangers toys in 2023. So, obviously we have kind of two main categories, which is Lightning Collection and the mainline toys. Now as of this recording, we started to get some information trickling out about some Dino Fury toys that are going to be kind of filling some gaps that we missed during the series before any presumable Cosmic Fury stuff comes out. So I think that's kind of nice. As of this recording, all we have is the Gold Ranger Morpher and the Dimetro Blazing Zord. It would be nice for us to get the other two, which are Pocky and the Cosmoraptors. I mean, honestly, I think there'd be a huge missed opportunity to not release the Cosmic Raptors around the time Cosmic Fury comes out. I mean, it's in the name. I think that's really nice. You know, I think it's unfortunate there were so many missing gaps. It is really weird how sparse the Dino Fury toy line felt in comparison even to Beast Morphers. To give them credit, they at least had a bit of a better shelf presence this year. Like with the Megazords, that was a huge problem with Beast Morphers, where they appeared very briefly and then they disappeared. And with Dino Fury, you know, every time I check the toy aisle, I happen to glance down, and they've had a steady stream of Megazords. And they have like a decent presence compared to where I feel this weird midway point between Beast Morphers and Dino Fury. I still feel, unfortunately, the Power Rangers toys have a lot smaller of a presence on the shelves than they used to. Like back in the Bandai days, back in my day, they used to have like a section like Star Wars that was like 4 or 5 pegs, like this decent little rectangle square that was like, that's Power Rangers. And now, like, maybe this is just my area, but even for both Walmarts and Targets, it's always just 2 little slivers. And sometimes a lot of the Walmarts will separate them, where it'll be like Power Rangers toys and then a bunch of rando stuff and then more Power Rangers toys. So it's a smaller section, but they've done a better job at distribution, but toy line has felt rather sparse. So I'm definitely hoping in the future it doesn't feel as sparse. You know, I'm not sure what we're going to get for Cosmic Fury. I highly doubt we'll get nothing. I mean, Hasbro's a toy company. I feel part of the reason they'd want to do it is to keep the franchise present and on toy shelves while they work on whatever comes next. I get a feeling it'll probably be more minimal just because it's a smaller series, so maybe we won't have as many Megazords. They might only use 1 or 2 Q-Ranger Megazords. There'll probably only be 1 Morpher. Again, I can't imagine them creating this Morpher to not release it, so I imagine we'll see at least stuff like that. But I'm just hoping in the future, whether it's Cosmic Fury or whatever follows, it just has a little bit more of a filled-out presence and doesn't feel so sparse or like they have to catch up later. Honestly, I feel like if we weren't getting Cosmic Fury, we might not even be getting these gaps filled in. And I would love to see 6 Ranger Morphers not be always treated as these second-class citizens. I think that they can be just as cool as a release for fans and kids. I don't know why it's been decided that it's something that's not worth putting effort into. I don't know, it's just weird with that. I also definitely hope that with the figures, we get all main 6 as regular retail releases. Even if it's like in 2 waves and it's like, you know, 3 Rangers and a villain, 3 Rangers and a villain. I just don't make 2 of them, whether it's green and black or any of the others, like gate-kept by an Amazon 5-pack. Not as if Amazon is like some sort of weird niche site that you have to order from, but like not everyone's gonna want to or be able to shell out the money for all 5 at once. And especially if you already bought the other 3, like, it's crazy to me that green and black, the only way to get them as of this recording is from a 5-pack. And then they made it sound like they were releasing them regular and it was the armored versions. So don't do any BS like that for Cosmic Fury or in the future. I just hope the main line has a bit more presence in the future. It definitely feels like that's something to get used to, is Hasbro is almost like an inverse of Bandai, where Bandai felt like the star of the show was the main line and then their second priority was Legacy. Not that they didn't make good stuff with Legacy and it wasn't, you know, especially like the weapons and Morphers, like they did well on it, but it wasn't like the thing that they poured the most attention into. Like their bread and butter seemed to still be the core show line. Whereas with Hasbro, it definitely feels like the Lightning brand is their bread and butter and the show stuff is kind of secondary. So that's maybe something to just get used to. But I would love for the show line to have more presence again. And I do kind of miss Bandai's release schedule too, of like the toys coming out around the holidays or like in the summertime before the big debuts to get you hyped for it instead of coming out after the show. I'm kind of hoping, you know, probably because Hasbro already has their own practices, probably something that's not going to happen, but I would love for a little bit more of a calibration when it comes to their toy releases. As far as Lightning Collection, it's so tough, and I almost don't even like talking about the Lightning Collection figures anymore because the, you know, toxic subset of the toxic fandom's gotten so worse with that. Like, the Lightning Collection figures have problems, absolutely, that are worth discussing, worth noting, that are worth fixing, but it gets drowned out, in my opinion, from so many conversations I see or people talking about it, by so much entitlement and so much like non-problems that get mixed in with like the legitimate discussion. So it's hard to talk about, honestly. Like, it's just not fun to talk about anymore, the figures. So I guess the only thing I'll say is I just hope they continue to improve them. You know, there's lots of little QC issues that can be improved. I hope they continue to improve the molds and continue to, you know, fix some of those QC issues that persist, like the actual problems and not the non-problems that I see being complained about. I'm going to mainly focus on the other stuff. Like, so we have the Zap stuff. I felt like the first release was very underwhelming. Not that it was bad. I feel like I come across too harsh on it. I just feel it didn't feel like it was worth the money. So I'm hoping that there's a little bit of a calibration as we go in regards to it feeling more worth the money, or maybe bringing the price down a little bit. Like, I don't know. They're still pretty cool looking, but they felt way more brittle than I thought it should. But I hope we see that continue and continue to improve. I do hope we kind of do this nice little bouncing around thing they've been doing where we get like an mmpr and then another series. I think that'd be pretty cool. I hope we continue to see some cool weapons. We'll probably finish out, I imagine, the power weapons. I actually think the idea of a power axe sounds pretty cool, but I hope that we can start diving into some other series roleplay weapons as well. You know, Saba, you know, even though I already have the Legacy Saba, I know that a lot of people missed out on it. I'm really surprised in a way they haven't gotten to that yet. You know, it's the same thing with a lot of things, but I definitely hope to see more stuff like that. Honestly, probably my biggest wish is to see more Morphers. Like, at the very least, let's do Green Ranger and or the Master Morpher. Like, how have we not done that yet? Like, it's been a bit of a slow burn with the Morphers. And they've been, I get that like mmpr sells, but it's so weird to me that we've been doing these like color individual ones. Like, I know that Bandai did it too. I mean, and they leaned it more towards it marketed based on the movie Morphers. But they also did it after they already finished like the Green Ranger and stuff like that. And it's just so weird. Like, again, on one way I get it, mmpr sells. But I feel like the most slam dunk release after the original Legacy Morpher was Tommy's Morpher. Like, I would have totally bought them trying to milk it further and do, you know, blue and pink and yellow or whatever after Tommy's Morpher. But the fact that we've gotten pink and yellow individual Morphers before you know, the gold-plated Morpher, like, how? How? I just don't get it. Again, the Master Morpher I think would be another slam dunk because the hardcore fans would like it, and I think casuals would be like, ooh, neat, you know? So I don't know, that just baffles me. Like, I'm never am going to be the fan that thinks I know more than the company. But for me, that just is a logic thing I don't understand. Like, how did you not do Tommy's Morpher? Like, I expected them to hop on that Tommy train immediately with the merchandise, and they just didn't. So I don't know, that's weird. But I want to see more Morphers. I want to see us at least get Tommy's Morpher. A Master Morpher would be great if we're going to hang around the realm of the Power Morpher for another year. But I would love to at least also get some news about something from another series. And I would kind of like to see them adapt that approach of what they're doing with the Zap ones so far. Again, right now, as of this recording, all we have is like Megazord, Dragonzord, Tigerzord, and Astro. But we found out about Astro and Tigerzord one after the other, and I would love to see that approach with the Morphers. Do Tommy's Morpher, and then maybe do a Zeonizer. Then do a Blue Ranger individual Morpher, and then maybe do an Astro Morpher. I'd love to see that approach. I just like to see more of them. I feel like it's been kind of crazy how they've released it and what a slow burn it's been. And I want to see, you know, them continue to make more Lightning Morphers and to improve on that. That's about it for all I can think of to talk about for what I want to see out of the Power Rangers toys. I guess also there is Fan Fridays, which are also mixed because, like, I feel that gives some nice attention to things, but also there's so many toxic reactions it becomes not fun. But I hope they bring it back to a degree. Maybe find a balance to give it a little bit more presence. I don't think everything needs a red carpet rollout because we existed for years without every toy getting an announcement. But I think for like major things it would be nice because it brings a little bit of attention and conversation going for the toys and the brand. But that's just what I want to see. What do you guys want to see most for your Power Rangers toy collection in 2023? Let me know in the comments as always. Until next time, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and climb the steps and ring that bell so you get notifications for my videos. Dawson Ryder, signing out.